Making It Work is brought to you by CreditRepair.com. Start rebuilding your credit today.
One of the cardinal rules of personal finance is to think in terms of cost per use rather than outright cost. And while it's true that investing in long-lasting items is more cost-effective in the long run, and that the cheapest option isn't necessarily the best one, I regularly find inexpensive swaps that work just as well as the more expensive items I'm used to spending on. Here are several items I've replaced with cheaper alternatives that actually ended up being better quality than their more expensive counterparts. Number 1. My moisturizer. When it comes to skincare, I've always felt like my problem skin warranted pricier goods. I used to use an $80 moisturizer from Lush that definitely helped, so I don't necessarily regret that I spent that much on it, but I certainly hope I never have to again. I recently replaced it with a cheaper and much more effective alternative, Andalou Naturals 1000 Roses Heavenly Night Cream. I had pretty much stopped searching for the holy grail of inexpensive yet effective moisturizers, and luckily just happened upon this one when I left my moisturizer at home and borrowed this while visiting my mother. It is amazing, and although I always came from the more money, better results school of thought when it came to skincare, I think this moisturizer is the best one I've tried, and for less than $20. Number 2. Almost all of my groceries. Trader Joe's has a reputation for being bougie as hell, but here's the secret. It is cheaper than pretty much every other grocery store where I live. I spend about $60 on groceries that last my partner and I for 2 to 3 weeks, a haul that would cost somewhere around the $110 mark elsewhere. If there is a TJ's near you, give it a shot. It takes some getting used to if you're religious about your brand name food, but you can find suitable replacements there. Number 3. My coffee maker. I was a Keurig person for a while, which is, in my opinion, a terrible waste of money if you're a moderate to intense coffee consumer. The upfront cost of a Keurig is about 5 times more than a run-of-the-mill Mr. Coffee, and K-Cups can be twice as expensive as ground coffee depending on where you buy them. If you're someone who routinely drinks a few cups in the morning, you may need something that yields a bit more coffee for the money. When I moved in with my partner, I left my Keurig with my parents, and instead of buying a new one, replaced it with a $25 coffee maker from Target. I get a 12-cup pot of coffee in the morning for less money than it would cost me to brew half that amount in a pricey Keurig. Number 4. My floss. I am weirdly passionate about flossing. It's the one part of my daily routine that I feel terrible and gross when I miss. To make it easier and more convenient, I bought those little plastic floss picks and have been using them for a long time now. However, I recently noticed how much cheaper it is to get regular dental floss. The amount of regular floss you can get for about $3 compared to the amount you get in a $3 package of floss picks is wild. About 200 yards of regular floss and about 100 to 150 floss picks depending on the brand. Also, when I consider the fact that I'm literally using and tossing away single-use plastic floss picks twice per day, I want to hang my head in shame. Number 5. Puppy training pads. The Wee Wee Pad brand is well known, but holy hell is it expensive! I bought a pack once when I got my last dog, Lilo. I gave up on trying to find a store brand package of training pads that actually soaked up puppy misses and continued to use pricey brand name ones until Lilo was entirely trained. When I got my next puppy, Gaston, I thought I was going to end up signing and swiping my card on a $50 box of training pads when something possessed me to give the Stop and Shop brand a try. It was only $14 for 150 pads, and they actually are amazingly absorbent and work just as well as the more expensive brands. If you adopt a puppy, I recommend giving a few different types of training pads a shot to see which ones actually work and how you can spend the least amount of money on something your dog is just going to pee on anyway. Number 6. $10 nail polish. I'm a sucker for an aesthetically pleasing bottle of Essie like any other girl, but the truth seems to be that the $9 bottle of nail polish chips away just as quickly as the $2. I had quite the Essie collection building up, but have switched over to a pretty exclusive relationship with the basic Sally Hansen nail polish range. There are tons of colors, they never cost more than $3, and they stay on my nails as long as I respect my hands and don't bang them into stuff, just like the more expensive brands. Number 7. My bronzer. A longtime favorite makeup product has always been Smashbox Bronze Lights Bronzer. I love the color and matte finish, but I don't love the $35 price tag. I couldn't bring myself to buy it again last time I ran out of it, and ended up picking up this Wet n Wild contouring palette, which has a nice matte bronzer on one side that is perfect for my skin tone, blends easier than the pricey Smashbox one, and costs under $4. Number 8. My monthly products. I have to be honest here. Target brand pads and tampons appear to work just as well as Tampax or Playtex, or whatever other name brand you may spend $7 plus on for a package that will barely last you 2 cycles. It is bad enough that so many of us have to shell out cash each month just to exist with a uterus, so I'll do just about anything to make it slightly more bearable and affordable. Plus, I find that I'm more comfortable with some of the off-brand ones anyway. Cheaper isn't always better, of course, but if I can find a cheaper, better swap for a product I need to buy, I'm all for it.
Finding ways to save money is just one aspect of taking control of your financial life. If you've been struggling to build your credit, you should check out creditrepair.com. If you're one of the millions of Americans with an inaccurate or unfair credit score, think about working with creditrepair.com. As their name suggests, creditrepair.com helps people work to repair their credit, and they've been crushing it for the better part of a decade. Creditrepair.com's advisors will help you analyze your credit report, identify any questionable negative items, and work to get them removed. If you have questions about the credit repair process or what the creditrepair.com team can do to help you, give them a call or visit the link in our description to learn more.